Nate, have you seen that Donald Trump has once again banged the drum on the issue of mass remigration, including in Europe? They've come out with recently, the Trump White House have come out recently with a sort of a new sort of broad strategy, almost sort of their global geopolitical strategy. And a big element of it is talking about mass remigration. And in it, he says that Europe in the next 20 years or less will become unrecognizable. I mean, it very nearly is already, Donald. And that we're facing a, quote, civilizational erasure. There we go. So this is in the news cycle at the time. I think this is from the Daily Mail, the Mail Online. It says, Trump warns European nations are under threat of civilizational erasure and will be, quote, unrecognizable within the next 20 years. Yeah. I mean, you can't say he's wrong. I mean, not that the situation in the United States is all that much better. Let's be honest about that. There's a bit of this nitpicky thing, I think, sometimes, which I'm really not a fan of, where Americans sort of poke fun at us in a way for allowing ourselves to be replaced, and then we, in turn, poke back at them and say, your racial demographics are even worse than ours, actually, and so on and so on. I mean, it's I don't like either of those things. Let's try and not gloat over each other's demise. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But anyway, so
no more brother war.
I appreciate it because all of our leaders not only don't say this stuff, but they're very proactively in favor of it, if anything, aren't they? So all the blob, whatever you want to call it. So whenever the Trump White House says stuff like this, even if it is just being a blowhard, even if it is just rhetoric, I still take it. It's better than nothing. That's the way I look at it, anyway. So yeah, a fair few things in here. The administration denounces European, quote, censorship of free speech and suppression of political opposition. Yeah,
true.
Yeah, it's true. There's some more quotes if you scroll down a tiny bit more. Saying there was a few quotes in there I thought was interesting. A large European majority wants peace. This is talking about Ukraine, but yet that desire is not translated into policy. Pardon me. In large measure because of those governments' subversion of democratic processes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We want Europe to remain European, to regain its civilizational self-confidence, and to abandon its failed focus on regulatory suffocation.
Based.
I
mean, again, even if it's just words, at this stage in the game, I'll happily take it.
Oh, I like the fact the US would oppose elite-driven anti-democratic restrictions on core liberties in Europe. The Anglosphere, love that in there.
Yeah, nice.
And the rest of the democratic world, especially among our allies. It's really important for people to realize democracies are very rare. They're rare in the world.
You mean?
Yeah, well, just in actual, locations in the world. There's not many, actual proper democracies, democratic locations in the world. It's not a usual. It's not the norm. Democracy isn't actually the norm.
Yeah.
Right, worldwide right now, and you're allowing people into your country that don't know democracy. They've never known democracy. They don't respect democracy.
And throughout history, very rare. Very rare. People think of there's the ancient democracies of sort of classical Athens, right? The 3rd, 4th, 5th century BC Athens, or the Roman Republic in the age before Caesar. And you think, history is full of democracies. No, not at all. And those democracies are nothing like modern democracies. The idea of universal manhood suffrage or women getting the vote, or the only criterion is that you've reached a certain age. No. Those democracies were much, much, much more exclusive. And yeah, I mean, even in the West, even in the Anglosphere, you only need to go back to the early half of the 20th century to find the end of the 19th century to find the vote very, very restricted, right? In Britain, it wasn't until after World War One women got the vote, right? Even if you go back to the Great Reform Act, 1832, if memory serves. I didn't think I'd be talking about the Great Reform Act here, but anyway, you go back to the mid-19th century, and very, very few people could vote in Britain. That is. So, yeah, democracies as we know them today, historically speaking, and geographically, very rare. You're absolutely right. It's a good point. Very good point. Very, very rare. But yeah, so for Trump and his White House to be speaking up on this sort of thing, I always maybe it is just a bit of red meat and it won't really mean anything in the long haul, but I take some heart from it, some solace from it. It's better than nothing. Often it is the way that, you know, when America sneezes, the rest of the world gets a cold. That old cliche. Yeah. If there is a movement to the right, populist right or otherwise, in Europe, you know, people like Orban, places like Germany and France and Holland and hopefully Britain, inching its way painfully to the right. This sort of thing can only really help. It's not going to hinder it, at least. Give you even if it's a tiny bit of a push in the right direction. I'm here for it. And yeah, just out and out explicitly saying, like, if you don't sort your shit out, if you don't start reversing things now, in 20 years or less, you're just going to be completely unrecognizable. And you can't deny that's true, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we have mosques pop up all the bloody time in this country. It's ridiculous. It's absolute nonsense. And it's not just the Islam situation either. You know, there are many enclaves of many different demographics that shouldn't be here, that are fundamentally changing the landscape and culture of the country. They just simply don't belong here. There's a reason Poland, you know, can have lovely Christmas markets, call them Christmas markets, and I don't know, doesn't have any terror attacks. You know, there's a reason Poland has that. Armed police, bollards, great, love that. Yeah, brilliant. Can't even call them Christmas markets in certain locations anymore. Do you know that? They don't even call them Christmas markets. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. I hate it. I hate everything that this country has become.
Yeah. Multiculturalism is a disgusting thing. I don't want multiculturalism. Yeah, when I talk about mass remigration or whatever, and some people say, "Oh, you just hate brown people," it's like, no, my xenophobia is far broader than that. It's not just brown skin. I want to get rid of a lot of Albanians, a lot of Romanians, all sorts of people that aren't brown. I also want to be remigrated out of my island because they don't belong here. It's not just the amount of melanin, right? If we were flooded by 700,000 Chinese every year, it'd be the Chinese I'm talking about. If we were flooded by people that aren't brown, like Japanese, they wouldn't, because their island's lovely. Why would they? But just say hypothetically,
yeah,
we
they even the Japanese
Koreans every year. I'd be talking about Koreans.
Yeah,
it's just they're foreign.
Yeah, I mean, even if there was 1 million Japanese people coming in, they would still create an ethnic enclave. It would still change culturally the sort of geographical location by which, you know, they would all gather together, and that would be a problem. That would be an issue. You know, no country and its people should be replaced by another, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. It doesn't matter what their skin color. Their culture should not be eroded away at the behest of awful people in power with some stupid pipe dream that it's absolutely fine and nothing bad will ever happen. Not least of all, the fact that we have multiple cultural, multiple cultures leading to our erasure, which will cause massive balkanization. That's even worse, because that's going to lead to inter-ethnic conflict between the ones which they've imported alone. You know, India and Pakistan, not historically best mates, and we've got large portions of both of them.
Yeah.
So, you know, It's not about. It's not about. It's not about the melanin or the cultures that are even coming over. It doesn't matter. Again, Japanese are, British adjacent almost in their cultural practices, right? And I really like the Japanese. I still wouldn't want 1 million here.
Right. Yeah.
Just because that would still, 1 million a year here, because that would still lead to an erasure situation. It would still be a clash. It would still be the English wiping themselves out. Like, it's just no thanks. I'm down for that.
Take a relatively small city like Leicester, small on global terms, the size that cities can grow to. Leicester's quite small, and pack it full of Indians and Pakistanis. Yeah, great. Yeah, that's going to work out well. No, it's exactly the same. If it was French, let's just say this. Let's just say there was hundreds of thousands or millions of French that swamped the southwest and the south coast of England, just continuously more and more and more, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands more French, to the point where the cities and towns on the south coast and southwest, say, southeast, became essentially French cities, where the main language there was French and all the shops were French, and the French people living there wanted French law to apply there and just lived as though it did. Right, let's say that. I would be railing against that and talking about deporting them all. They've all got to go back to France. That's right.
Yeah.
So it's actually not strictly about their skin colour.
No.
Like I say, there's plenty of Albanians that need to go home.
Oh, yeah. A lot. All of them, in fact. So, be gone.
Anyway.
I'm done with you. But it's funny, isn't it, to pull it back to the cultural thing, is that, because people, maybe it is a skin color situation that people get so sensitive about. Because when you say, well, we shouldn't import so many Indians and Pakistanis, because they clash, people go, ooh, they sort of bristle. Okay, all right. Well, let's look at it from a different perspective then. Leicester, right? You wouldn't want a packet full of North and South Koreans and expect that to be fine, would you? Right. You'd probably expect there to be some level of situation going on between them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's take Port Talbot. Let's take Port Talbot and import 250,000 South Koreans and 250,000 North Koreans and put them in that little town and make them live cheek by jowl. It's a bad idea. That's not a good idea.
Bit more prominent one. Why don't we import Ukrainians and Russians to a little town? Right. Let's just see how they do, shall we? Come on. God, people are dumb.
Anyway, just to finish up on this then, once again, and I don't care, the MAGA haters out there think it's lame to notice when Trump says something based. I'm going to notice it. And I like it. I mean, long may it rain. Hopefully there's someone like Rubio or Vance gets in next time and they keep it up and we get more than just another 3.5 years of it. 4 more years.